ladies and gentlemen, after a 17-year NFL career out of NC State, a man who captivated the hearts of football fans in San Diego, and then drove from Los Angeles to San Diego for a year as the San Diego Chargers became the Los Angeles Chargers, and captivated the hearts of the people in Los Angeles. Not a lot of people, because they were Rams fans mostly at the time, but you get it. Then he comes to Indianapolis, and at the beginning of his relationship in Indianapolis, the fans got a little bit intrigued by how it was going to go, because the battles between he and Peyton Manning back in the day were always awesome. And this particular player loved to talk shit at a rate that nobody else did, which sometimes got casted as a negative thing. But I think if you ask any person that's been in the NFL, they'd say they love everything about it. He's created some of the greatest moments in NFL films' mic'd up sessions, and he retired this morning. Phil Rivers, hell of a run, pal.
Hell of a run. Congrats, Phil.
Hey, Phil, hell of a run.
Thank you, Phil. Thank you.
He made it official this morning with an entire statement. It was reported by a couple people. I believe Spot Track, SPOTRAC had it first. I'm not 100% sure. I do like to give credit normally to who got it first, because we understand that the news-breaking pond is filled with a bunch of sharks in there.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get it right. But he released a statement, an official statement. Every year, January 20th is a special and emotional day. It is St. Sebastian's feast day.
Of course.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not.
Well, Sebastian became a saint. And I'll tell you what, on January 20th, he fucking emptied every plate in front of him.
Oh, yeah. Great day.
Great day. January 20th, St. Sebastian's feast day. The day I played, Philip Rivers says, in the AFC Championship without an ACL, by the way. No ACL. And now the day that after 17 seasons, I'm announcing my retirement from the National Football League. Thank you, God, for allowing me to live out my childhood dream of playing quarterback in the NFL. I am grateful to the Chargers for 16 seasons and the Colts for the 17th season. Thank you to all my coaches that helped me grow as a player and person. Thanks to the support staff, by the way.
Yeah, of course.
Put it in there. One sentence. You know who you are. Okay, equipment managers, athletic trainers, everybody, you know exactly who you are. I appreciate you. I appreciate the opposing defenses, making it challenging physically and mentally every week. ... I also enjoyed the banter. Hey, by the way, Phil, we all enjoyed that banter as well. Some people were pretty loud about not enjoying it. I want to let you know those people were not people that are friends of ours, and I think there was a lot more people like us than those people. We enjoyed whenever you talk shit to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But there were some times there where people were not happy about him shit-talking people.
No.
Where he would go literally at fans and say, never swearing somehow, but at fans he'd say things. In Indianapolis, there's an entire give and take of him and 3 fans during one, I think it was the AFC Championship game in which they beat the Indianapolis Colts the year before I got drafted, because Cyphers had a massive game for them. Cyphers is a legend. But there's just been a nonstop competitive edge to Phil Rivers that whenever he talks shit, some people bashed it. We always enjoyed it. Now, let's get back to his statement. I appreciate the referees for putting up with all my fussing. I think I was right most of the time, dadgummit. Good line. Hey.
That's a great line.
Hey, he knew that was going to get a good pop.
Yep.
And it did, by the way. Dadgummit. Thanks to the fans in San Diego around the nation that both cheered and booed. By the way, I appreciate it both. Kind of heel babyface thing. Special thanks to my teammates. Without a doubt, my favorite part of the game, being a teammate. Thank you for being mine. Lastly, thank you to my wife and best friend, Tiffany, and our children. Here we go. Hallie.
What?
Caroline.
What?
Grace.
What?
Gunnar.
What?
Sarah.
What?
Peter.
What?
Rebecca.
What?
Claire.
What?
Anna.
What?
Could not have done it without y'all's unwavering support. As my playing career comes to an end, the next chapter begins. Cool up high. Philip Rivers.
Wow.
I believe Philip Rivers, guaranteed Hall of Famer. There's some people, I guess, that oppose that opinion. It is actually Zito's poll today, which we will keep up with throughout the show. If you're a starting... Now, listen, I'm going to say it. When I heard that we picked Philip Rivers over Tom Brady to come to Indianapolis, I wasn't exactly thrilled about it. I mean, that wasn't something that I was, like, openly pumped about. But if you're a starting quarterback in the NFL for 17 years. The hardest position in sports, everybody says it, except for people that play in other positions that assume their position's maybe a little bit harder than a quarterback position, but I'm not exactly sure which one. Maybe being Sidney Crosby, the greatest hockey player to ever exist, is maybe a tougher position because the amount of pressure that's been put on him since he was in high school or whatever. But the quarterback position is the NFL. The NFL is the largest league in the world, the best league in the world. And if you're the face of a franchise for 17 years at the hardest position in sports, the position that makes the game the biggest game in the world, in the best game in the world, I think that automatically deserves a little recognition in the Hall of Fame. I mean, my house in college had a Hall of Fame. If a guy hit 6 straight cups going up in there. Mm-hmm. All right. Hall of Fame is like, hey, this is a collection of legendary things that have happened within our league. We have standards. We have a lot of different things. 17 years for the number 17 as at the position that it is. He's definitely a Hall of Famer. You're not just a quarterback in the NFL for 17 years and you're not at the top of the game or somebody that should be remembered whenever there's 100 years from now and Canton's still standing, you're walking through. I think he should be in there with a bust that even says something hilarious at the bottom of it so people know about Phil Rivers. Phil Rivers obviously never won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino also, same story. Is it Philip Rivers' fault that the teams he was on didn't win a Super Bowl? Some people say yes because it is such a quarterback league, but then as we kind of get older now, right? We're kind of getting older into the game, realizing more and more, like, yo, you need a fucking team around you.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to need a team. Everybody needs people to help them, and that's why football is the greatest team sport there's ever been. Now, granted, normally quarterbacks will attract great players or make players even better than they are, and they did, and he did have success, great success, just without winning the Super Bowl. I don't believe that is a reason to deem him not a Hall of Famer. I think Philip Rivers is a Hall of Famer. I enjoyed watching him this year with the Colts, mostly because Phil Rivers, Favre had this. Mm-hmm. Phil Rivers, old school, okay, old school guy. He would throw an interception, and then by the time he got to the sideline, he didn't even remember that it happened. Nope. He sits down. Actually, I don't even think he sat down ever. He stood and cheered for the defense the entire time as opposed to sitting on the bench. Awesome teammate. I assume everybody that played with him loved him. Darius Leonard called him Uncle Phil, told him congratulations, that whole thing. But he's got to go into the fucking Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He has to. He honestly has to. And I think, I don't know, I'm a Phil Rivers guy, I think, at this point after watching him this year, because the throw the pick, forget about it. Mm-hmm. Go right back out. Throw another one.
Yep.
I mean, he will not, there is not even a thought after his throw, the weird release, obviously. And he came on the show and he said it was because whenever he basically grew up around football, his dad was a high school football coach. And when he was a kid, he wanted to throw the ball, which I think we all do that, by the way. Whenever we're trying to throw a football, it's too big. But he was just so damn good at it that he just stuck with it. And they tried to change it or whatever. He'll go right back out there and throw that thing right into a defensive meeting. And it is not even a question. There's a lot of quarterbacks that potentially do that, have a lot of turnovers, or potentially turn the ball over, and they get cut quickly. The reason why Philip Rivers didn't, and he played for 17 years, is because the immediate play after that, he'll put a ball into a keyhole, into a throw that you would never expect him to make, and he had that ability to bounce back. He was tough. He was a great. I think Phil Rivers is a Hall of Famer. Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer? I mean, who the fuck knows about that? Okay, probably not, I'd assume, because I don't know how that whole thing works, to be honest. I haven't looked into it, strictly because there's a much better chance of me ending up in other Hall of Fames than the NFL Hall of Fame. So I haven't really looked at the whole process, but I believe the no Super Bowl thing will probably hold him out of the first ballot Hall of Fame thing. But if you're Philip Rivers, you should feel really good about what you accomplished. Now, will he go coach high school football like his dad? Or will he take the $10 million a year that's probably going to be offered to him to be in the booth somewhere because they're already calling him the next Tony Romo? Now, will he be? Probably. I assume he'll probably be very good at it. He's come on our show, great personality. Mm-hmm. FCC's going to love him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's completely okay. And he has an ability to be funny and relatable without swearing, which is not an easy thing to do. So maybe Phil Rivers will do that, or maybe he'll say put the ball cap and the whistle on that he's always wanted to do and go coach. Anyways, job well done. Congrats to Phil. We appreciate everything you've done for the game.
Congrats, Phil.
There's people saying, no way Hall of Fame.
A lot of people.
17 fucking years as starting quarterback in the NFL. At Ty Schmidt, you said a lot of people are saying it?
Yeah, I feel like the most of what I'm seeing is people, because he hasn't won a Super Bowl, and I think they remember like this late stage in his career where he did throw more interceptions and stuff like that. But also the guys who are voting for the Hall of Fame, all these writers, don't they love Phil? Mm-hmm. Like they love his personality and everything that he gave to the game.
Because
like,
didn't a lot of people talk bad about Phil being the way he is?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I feel like a lot of those guys who actually do have votes, like they love all the off the field and like the competitive edge and all that kind of stuff. And I just feel like, I mean, it's tough because of the way he's played these last couple years when he clearly just wasn't the same guy. But it's easy to forget how good he was. Like
17 years as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Bro, that is so long. Mm-hmm. I played in the NFL 8 years. Okay? Punter. Was only good for about 5 of them. This dude was a starting quarterback for 17 years in the NFL. That is so long. I don't understand the even thought of he can't go in. That is a long fucking time in there.